Analyze question 17 step by step. Question, open quote, the work I was doing and to take an hour-long break so I wouldn't burn out by working continuously, close quote. Options, A, quit, think, B, ceased, decided, C, completed, arranged, D, shunned, rose, opened, managed. Step 1, understand the meaning. The sentence means, open quote, I stopped working and made a decision to take a 1-hour break to avoid burnout, close quote. So we need 1, a word meaning stopped, 2, a word meaning made a decision. Step 2, check each option. A, quit, think. Open quote, I quit the work I was doing and think to take, close quote. Problems, quit usually means leave a job or stop permanently. Think to take is grammatically incorrect. It should be thought of taking or thought to take in a different structure. Incorrect. B, ceased, decided, open quote. I ceased the work I was doing and decided to take an hour-long break, close quote. Ceased equals stopped. Decided equals made up my mind. This perfectly matches both grammar and meaning. Correct. Completed, arranged, open quote. I completed the work I was doing and arranged to take, close quote. This changes the meaning. The sentence is about taking a break to avoid burnout, not about finishing the work first. Also, arranged to take means planned or organised, not simply decided. Incorrect. Dash, shunned, rose. Shunned equals deliberately avoided. Rose equals got up. Open quote, I shunned the work, close quote. This makes no sense. Incorrect. E, opened, managed. Open quote, I opened the work, close quote. You don't open the work. Also, open quote, managed to take, close quote, means succeeded in taking, not decided to take. Incorrect. Vocabulary, word meaning example. Cease, to stop. The rain ceased after an hour. Decide, to make a choice. She decided to study harder. Quit, leave permanently. He quit his job. Arrange, plan or organize. We arranged a meeting. Shun, avoid deliberately. He shunned bad company. Exam tip, IBPS SBI SSC. For these fill in the blank questions. 1, read the sentence for the overall meaning. 2, check the grammar, verb forms, collocations. 3, eliminate options that are grammatically wrong. 4, choose the pair that matches both meaning and grammar. Here, ceased equals stopped, decided, made a choice. So the only option that satisfies both conditions is B, ceased, decided. Question 18, open quote. The forest is so that a handful of forest department personnel and volunteers could not reach every spot where fires ignite. Options A, wide, B, vast, C, width, D, vase, E, none of the above. Step 1, understand the sentence. The sentence means, open quote, the forest is very large, so only a few forest officers and volunteers cannot reach every place where fires start. Close quote. So the blank needs an adjective meaning very large in area. Step 2, analyze each option. A, wide means broad from one side to another. Examples, a wide road, a wide river. We usually do not say a wide forest. It sounds unnatural because forests are measured by area, not width. Incorrect. B, vast. Vast means extremely large in area or size. Examples, a vast forest, a vast desert, a vast ocean. Sentence, open quote. The forest is so vast that a handful of forest department personnel and volunteers could not reach every spot where fires ignite. Close quote. This is both grammatically and contextually correct. Correct answer. C, width. Width is a noun, not an adjective. Examples, the width of the road is 20 meters. The sentence needs an adjective after is so. Incorrect. D, vase. A vase is a container used for flowers. It has nothing to do with forests. Incorrect. None of the above. Since vast fits perfectly, this is incorrect. Vocabulary, word, part of speech, meaning, example. Vast, adjective, extremely large in area. A vast forest, wide. Adjective, broad from side to side. A wide road. Width, noun, measurement across the width of the bridge. Vase, now flower container, a glass vase. SBIPO IBPS exam tip. Learn common adjective, noun collocations. Vast forest, ocean, desert, land, country. Wide road, river, street, smile. These natural word pairings collocations are frequently tested in bank exams. Final answer, B, vast. Question 19, open quote. The threat of quality measures alone is likely to further reduce the of weaker sections to higher education. Close quote. Options: A, implementation access, B, confinement struggle, C, execution measure, D, restriction experience, E, none of these. Step 1, understand the sentence. The sentence means, open quote, if only quality measures are implemented without supporting disadvantaged groups, it may make it harder for weaker sections to get higher education. Close quote. So we need 1, a noun meaning putting a policy into practice. 2, a noun meaning the ability to enter or obtain something. Step 2, analyze each option. A, implementation. Access, sentence, open quote. The implementation of quality measures alone is likely to further reduce the access of weaker sections to higher education. Implementation equals putting a policy or rule into action. Access, opportunity or ability to obtain something, meaning if strict quality policies are introduced without support, poorer or disadvantaged students may find it harder to enter higher education. Best answer. And B, confinement, struggle, sentence, open quote, the confinement of quality measures, close quote. Confinement, imprisonment or restriction to a place. It doesn't fit with quality measures. Also, reduce the struggle doesn't match the negative meaning of the sentence. Incorrect. Execution measure. Sentence, open quote, the execution of quality measures, close quote. While execution can mean implementation, the second blank is wrong. Open quote, reduce the measure of weaker sections, close quote. This makes no sense. Incorrect. D, restriction experience. Sentence, open quote, the restriction of quality measures, close quote. This means limiting the quality measures themselves, which changes the intended meaning. Also, open quote, reduce the experience of weaker sections, close quote. This doesn't fit the context. Incorrect. Vocabulary, word meaning example. Implementation, putting a plan into action, implementation of a new education policy. Access, opportunity or ability to use or obtain something. Access to education. Confinement, being kept within limits, confinement in prison. Execution, carrying out a plan, execution of a project. Restriction, limitation, restriction on entry. SBI IBPS collocations, important. Learn these common word pairs. Implementation of a policy, access to education, access to healthcare, access to information, execution of a plan. Notice that in formal English we most naturally say access to higher education. In this question, the intended answer is still implementation, access, even though many style guides would phrase the full sentence as, open quote, the implementation of quality measures alone is likely to further reduce access to higher education for weaker sections, close quote. Final answer. Question 20, open quote, the interests of both parties may not be, but they do considerably, close quote. Options: A, identical, overlap, B, same, contraction, C, different, analogies, D, developed, similar, E, created, involve. Step 1, understand the sentence. The sentence means, open quote, the two parties don't have exactly the same interests, but they share many common interests, close quote. So we need, first blank, exactly the same, second blank, share common in many areas. Step 2, analyze each option. A, identical, overlap sentence. Open quote, the interests of both parties may not be identical, but they do overlap considerably, close quote. Meaning identical's exactly the same. Overlap equals have something in common. Example, my interests and yours are not identical, but they overlap because we both enjoy cricket and movies. This is grammatically and logically perfect. Correct answer. B, same, contraction. Sentence, open quote, the interests may not be same, but they do contraction considerably, close quote. Problems, we normally say the same, not just same. Contraction is a noun meaning reduction or shortening, or a muscle contraction. It cannot be used here. Incorrect. C, different, analogies, sentence. Open quote, the interests may not be different, but they do analogies considerably, close quote. Problems, if they are not different, it means they are the same, which doesn't fit the contrast introduced by but. Analogies is a noun, the sentence needs a verb. Incorrect. D, developed, similar sentence. Open quote, the interests may not be developed, but they do similar considerably, close quote. Develop doesn't describe interests in this context. Similar is an adjective, but after do we need a verb? Incorrect. E, created. involve sentence. Open quote. The interests may not be created, but they do involve considerably. Close quote. This is meaningless in context. Incorrect. Vocabulary, word, part of speech, meaning, example, identical, adjective, exactly the same, their opinions are identical. Overlap, verb, to share common parts, our interests overlap. Contraction, noun, reduction, shortening, muscle contraction. Analogy, noun, comparison between two things. He gave an analogy. Grammar trick, very important for IBPS SBI. After do, we need the base form of a verb. Examples, they do work hard, then do overlap, they do overlap, not they do similar, adjective, they do in attractionized noun. This grammar rule alone eliminates options B, C, D, and E. Collocation to remember, identical to, it's exactly the same as. Interests overlap equals have common interests. Examples, their views are not identical, but they overlap in many areas. Our goals are different.